America's backbone was built on blue-collar business grit, grind, and muscle. This is where you stop working for the business, and the business starts working for you.
What's up, blue-collar millionaires? Today we're talking about creating ideas, developing ideas that are absolute nightmares for your competitors. I don't know why I love using that word, but I just like it. I want to be a nightmare. I'm not just like I used to be, but I used to want to just like destroy gutter companies 10, 15 years ago. I used to talk shit about it, do all that stuff. Now I want everybody to win, but I do an idea and I say to myself, if somebody else was doing this in my market or to my customers, would I be concerned? If the answer is yes, I keep going with it. If I say, would I be very concerned and up at night and doing something about this? And then that idea becomes a nightmare. And that's how I try to develop my ideas. See, like, if they knew that was happening, they would be very concerned. Because too many ideas out there people do are real ho-hum, right? Like putting signs out and stuff. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's not really a big deal.
It's not a game changer.
If I'm in a neighborhood and you're putting signs out, I don't really care. If you're knocking on doors, I'm not really concerned. But if you're knocking on doors and texting them and shooting them pricing that's really good, that's stacked with value, and I was a landscaper, I was cutting all the lawns in that neighborhood, yeah, I'd be worried about that. That's I would be much more concerned about that person than somebody who's puts out some flyers once a year in your neighborhood. Don't care.
You know what I find that the best ideas are when it comes to business is the ideas that require the least from your customer, because people love the easy button. I think that's why Staples did so good when they put that easy button and they said, call Staples, we're the easy button. We want it fast. We want it easy. We want it now. And if you can give somebody something that doesn't require a lot of effort on their end, they will choose you all day, every day over your competition if it's comparing that they're going to have to put more effort out to receive the desired results. So, Kevin, what do you do when you're moving through your day and you've got these ideas? Because I know there's a lot of times I'll have great ideas and then I'm like, dang, man, what was that the other day that I was thinking about? And I just can't recall it because I've got so much going on in that moment and too many days have already passed.
I got two things going because I have probably so many ideas that I never got to. I just forgot about them. That could have made me millions of dollars, right? Because we all do this. You're driving, whatever. This is what I do now. I have one VA. I will voice text her. She's probably asleep, probably like this guy. But I'll voice text her an idea. And then I say like, idea for this company. And then I just run it through. She will then write it up and put it in my idea folder for whatever company, because I got a bunch of different ones. Mm-hmm. If I'm not doing that and I'm sitting there watching TV or something, I have an idea, I'll email it to myself and I always put subject idea. And Tiara will go in there, label them ideas, and she'll pull them into that same list. She goes through there and organizes them. So I'll have a lot of ideas. Then I go through on Saturday and I look at my ideas, and some of them like, nah, that shit's garbage. Or, that's good, but that's not. And I try to pick the best ideas. But then I did something. I've been doing this forever, so I've gotten kind of good at this. Now I have an idea panel. So I'll develop ideas in that sheet. I'll write a document and then I'll write up. I like doing this too. I'll take that idea and I'll sit there for 30 minutes, 20 minutes, and I'll like break it down step by step, how this would work, best desired outcome for me, how I could do this. I'll write it up and then I'll talk to my VAs and I'll do like I did yesterday, an idea panel. I don't invite every one of them. I invite certain ones and I say, who wants to run with this idea? A lot of times they all want to run with the same two because they're like, this one's good.
Right.
And they know it's good. They want to own it. They want in. I'll give a bonus or something like that if it's going to happen. And then I get that idea because I really like to just develop the ideas. The execution, I did it my whole life. Chris, you've done it. I want to get on to the next idea. That's what I want to do.
Yeah. That's our personality.
Do all this stuff, but I want to know what's going on with that. And then as they're doing it, they know that person owns that idea. they can message me every time like, hey, I was thinking we could do this. And I say, or well, let's do this. And then we just do it. And that's how I have a lot of ways to make money. And then I have my whole little system of, is this a good use of my time? Because you don't want to, I have a ton of ideas that can make 100 grand, a ton. But if you're making millions of dollars or whatever, like why are you messing around with $100,000 idea? Okay. But a lot of them are, you have a multi-million-dollar business, and then you're thinking of ideas that you can just add that are going to pull another 100 grand. Okay. I like those ideas, but I wouldn't want to go off and start an own company that I feel, I can make 150 doing this. Be a waste of time. So you got to kill a lot of ideas. Kill it.
Yeah. I'll sit there and first of all, we've all got a smartphone in our pocket. You used your smartphone, and then you utilized it, even made it easier for you to record because you did the recording text, the talk to text. Actually, I think you actually record your voice and send it, and not just the talk to text. That way there's not a discrepancy when it sits there and tries to take what you're saying and put it into a word, because sometimes it does pick up accents. So you're taking it and you do a talk to text. I'll sit there and do a talk to text on my notepad, and I've got that notepad. The title of it will be ideas. All right. So that way, if I'm in the car, I can pull it up. I tap one button and I'm recording, and it's doing the talk to text, and it's done. So I'm not being dangerous as I'm driving. My best ideas come to me when I'm behind the steering wheel with windshield time. I'm sitting there just thinking through things. So you need to have some type of system so that you can get these things recorded. But here's what I really like about yours, Kevin. You start to brainstorm it with your people around you to make sure it's a good idea by getting their buy-in. So the ones that are saying, yeah, I want to take this, you're seeing which ones are probably a good idea. And then you delegate it off to someone else. If you are like me and Kevin, and most entrepreneurs are, you are great at coming up with ideas. You suck at execution. This is why it's so important that you structure people around you that can execute for you, implementers. So have a place that you store these ideas, bounce it off of other individuals to see if they're a good idea. And the idea should vertically integrate within your current business model. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to start offering asphalt cool sealing to asphalt parking lots when I don't have any of that equipment. I don't have those customer base. I have no resources for that. But if I said, hey, I'm going to start offering dryer vent cleaning to my customer base, well, I already offer duct cleaning and I got the systems, tools, and equipment for it. So that would be a great idea that could produce $100,000 to the already company customer base and revenue that we have coming in.
Yeah. So one thing I do is you got to be careful of idea dumping. I used to idea dump a long time ago, like on girlfriends and everything. You give them like a million things and then you don't go do any of them. And I remember I was in Home Depot in like the mid 90s, and I was going to do something with Christmas trees and selling them. And I was there, and I had been dating this girl for a year. She says to me, "What? Can we just go to get dinner?" And I was like, I got to do this. I got to look at these lights. She's like, "You're not going to do it. You're not going to do it." And I remember I was like, I didn't like that. I was pissed the rest of the night. And then I was like, I'm almost going to do it now just to shut her ass up. Like, that's what I thought for the rest of the week. And then by like 2 days later, I'm like, I'm not going to do this because I had already killed the idea. It didn't work financially. So, but I thought, all right, I'm not going to tell her any ideas until they're already going. But you have to watch that with your team too. That's why, yes, that one VA, she listens to him. That's her thing. She's not a main VA. She's a great person, but she's not. I go through and then I only bring the ideas. I've already stress tested them. I've written them out. They make sense. All of them are good, but I kill a lot of ideas just because I'm like, man, that's not really going to make enough to make it worthwhile. It's not a good time. But I save them all that. Otherwise, it's just like we were saying, people are going to like, wait, is this going to be the good idea or is this going to be him just dumping stuff on me?
I've had that same issue with my team, but instead my team would think I was giving an order out because I would be real bad, especially when I was smaller and we were all in the same office area. I would sit there and start brainstorming out loud And I would say, I'm just talking out loud. Okay. So this is not for y'all to implement, but I used to not do that. And then all of a sudden I would find out that they're implementing things that never should have been implemented because I was just brainstorming, talking it through and getting feedback from them. So now I do more of what you do, Kevin. And I write it down. Like I just mentioned, I record it on my iPhone in the notepad section. And then I go back and think it through while I'm sitting on the couch or driving behind in the vehicle driving to a location. And I'm just processing it through. What does this look like? Who's going to have to be involved to do this? Would my customer want it? How would they pay for it? How would this get marketed? And then at that point, it lets me know, is this something that really needs to be done or not?
Yeah. And you should find one person in your life. It could be your wife or whatever. In my case, it's my mom. My mom, I tell her a lot of my ideas and she'll go through them with me. She's like, I don't know about that one. I think you should just focus on this. But a lot of times she likes them. But we like to talk and we're very much alike, so it works. But I'm not dropping it on my whole team. Here's the other part of bringing your ideas to the team. You can encourage them, hey, what do you guys think about it, or how to make it better? And what you'll find is, depending on your team, say my team's 20 people, VAs and everything, it's really like the same 3 people.
Yeah.
So then after I found that out, I know who those 3 people are. I don't talk to the other ones really about it. Because most people's, their brains don't work like that. They don't have ideas. They're really they want to be implementers, and that's good. So you have the idea and you do it, and then you find the people. I used to do that with gutter guys. I say, hey, what are some ways we can do this better? And one guy would say, hey, I just think we should have all the type 2 ladders. They're lighter. That was a good idea. I had been thinking about it. And like 2 guys are like, yeah, if we did that, we'd move so fast. And another guy's telling me about putting a flat screen TV in the van so they can watch movies. And I'm like,
idea.
yeah, bro. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, keep this guy off my text list. I removed him from that text group immediately. That was his idea. They had all weekend to come up with something to tell me on Monday. He wanted to put a flat screen in the van.
Here's the other challenge with these ideas. It's great to come up with the ideas, but then what happens is we might start to implement them for just a moment, and then we miscalculate how much effort is involved. Kevin, you skip that, first of all, by brainstorming it, but you ask who wants to be in charge with this. I've also read that in Traction, if you follow the entrepreneurial operating system, the EOS system, which the book Traction speaks about, you go through and you have these ideas and then you assign them to someone, because you as the owner, the entrepreneur, you have all these great ideas, but if you think that you're going to be able to accomplish them all, you will find yourself spinning your wheels in the mud because you never focus, therefore you can never execute.
Sure.
That's why it's so important that you stick this in a list, an idea list, you brainstorm it, then you assign it. And that should be your course of action with ideas. List, brainstorm it, assign it. List,
Absolutely.
brainstorm it, assign it, and do not assign it to yourself.
Traction is a great book by Gino Wickman. You guys should all read it. But that's exactly why I do it. And he reinforced that, is get an idea, sell it to somebody else to own it and implement it, and it's off your plate. Warren Buffett has a great quote. I remind myself of this. It's something I'm going to mess it up, but it basically says, write down 25 things you want to do in your life, 25 things you want to do, and then that you want to be really, really good at. And then he says, cross out 23 of them because you're only going to do 2 of them.
Yeah.
So that's what you should do with ideas. If you have 25 ideas, you're only going to do 2 of them. But if you have 25 ideas and you have 10 people doing 2 of them, you can get them done.
That's it.
I'm not saying you need 25, but that's how I do it. If I was doing everything, you have no time.
That's it.
So Chris just had a great idea today. I really like that. We're going to develop that one.
I think that's
one. I don't think I'm going to kill that idea. I don't think I can.
No, we're going to get that developed. I'm excited to announce it once we get further down the road on it.
We will assign that to someone.
Yes. Okay, guys, if you are looking for more information for Blue Collar World, how to grow your business, how to get started owning your own business, then you need to check out the Blue Collar Facebook group. It's free. We drop a ton of information. We've got successful entrepreneurs telling their story every Tuesday, 11 Eastern, for a live interview. If you're looking to purchase your first business, then go to bluecollarmillionaire.net, bluecollarmillionaire.net, and sign up for the War Room. This is where we're going to teach you how to negotiate, how to finance, and how to tackle a business acquisition so that you can become a blue-collar millionaire instantly, even if you've never owned a business before. And then very, very soon, we're going to have the boardroom. So all of you business entrepreneurs that own a business, and you're looking to scale it, then you need to get into the boardroom, because all we do is talk about how to scale your business, how to add revenue, and more importantly, profits to the bottom line.
There's a lot of things going in the boardroom. You're in Boardroom Elite. We're going to do all those things, but ideas that have made Chris and I millions of dollars, we're going to walk you through them and teach you how to do them. I love taking a business, give you an idea, and I'll help you develop that.
Yeah.
So you can make lots of money. I want people to 100x their investment in Boardroom Elite. It's 1 hour a week. It's a monthly fee. You're going to get in there. You're going to have access to us. We're going to go. I mean, imagine in a year how much guys can make off of these things.
Massive. It'll pay for itself over and over again.
Of course.
All right, guys.
This is thepodcastfactory.com.